All right, the president's going to be talking taxes in a battleground state of West Virginia. Is that what voters need to hear and be reminded, as if they do of late, since it seems that most Americans now have seen it in their paychecks, the good that's come of them? At least that will be the president's pitch today, among other things. Real Clear Politics co-founder Tom Bevan, Independent Women's Forum senior fellow Patrice Onwuka. Patrice, with that community and in that very important state, certainly for the president, one of his biggest wins, he is kind of preaching to a choir, right? Or what do you make of that?
Well, I think this is a great audience for him. It's certainly one of his strongholds, but it's a reminder to both West Virginia voters and the broader American public, you know, the connection between tax cuts and the strong growth in the economy, strong jobs cuts, and the unexpected surprises that came out from, you know, pay raises to new benefits and salary increases. And so I think he doesn't want Americans to forget that, especially when you start to think about the midterms coming up in the fall.
How are they looking right now with this tax cut stuff, Tom, as you see it? Because we've got caught up in trade and all that other stuff, which I'll get into. But I think that Republicans were kind of surprised by how polls for the party in imaginary matchups with Democrats would fare, or that the president's numbers would improve, but not nearly enough to tilt what a lot of Democrats still say is going to be a blue wave. What do you hear?
Yeah, I mean, Republicans saw the generic ballot close in January after the tax cut got passed. They saw the president's numbers improve, and they saw that the polling on the tax law itself improve. It slipped a little bit as of late. It's back underwater. Only about 39% approve in our Real Clear Politics average on the question of whether on the tax cut. About 45% disapprove. So they've still got work to do, and obviously this is it, Neil. You know, this is the singular achievement, legislative achievement, that Republicans are going to take to voters in November. I think Trump is also going to mention, though, being in West Virginia, he will talk about the rollback of regulations that his administration has done, Obama-era regulations, particularly on the coal industry. And it'll be interesting to see, actually, whether he mentions Scott Pruitt, his EPA administrator, who is under fire right now, and who the White House press secretary refused to say that President Trump had confidence in yesterday.
Yeah, when it gets to that, you're a dead man walking at that point. But Patrice, I'm not smart enough to know the inner workings of where the staffing decisions are going to go here. But let me get back to the trade thing, because to hear a lot of economists and Wall Streeters and just average folks with whom I've been chatting, they're concerned that it's going to offset the gains from the tax cuts, and that since they're more recent, or potentially the tariff fallout could be more recent, it could weigh on voters' minds, assuming that it doesn't get resolved the president's way. What do you think?
You know, I think voters are going to be looking at the prices at the grocery store. You know, has aluminum foil price increased? You know, have some of the general things that they buy, or the inputs and the goods that they're producing, have the cost increase as a result? You know, I do think, though, that when we talk about tariffs, we recognize that it is a tool that is usually not a free market tool, but can be a tool for broader, for better trade policies. And I think that's the way the administration is trying to position this, as a way for there to be really fair trade in a way that we haven't had it before.
Tom, I'm wondering how this all sorts out. Republicans apparently very worried about this trade stance the president is taking, and that it's escalated beyond just aluminum and steel-related goods to now, you know, better than 2,000 between both countries, affecting everything from soybeans and cotton to jetliners. So I'm wondering how he's going to sort that out, because most of the angst I hear of late has been coming from those within his party, not those outside.
Correct. And Republicans all across the country, and certainly the ones in Washington and everybody up for re-election, they're nervous about it. And the White House has been doing their best to sort of tamp this down. Your interview with Larry Kudlow yesterday is a perfect example. He tried to say, look, you know, I don't think it's going to go to full-blown trade war. This is just a tool. We're trying to, you know, fire a shot across the bow. I think Republicans hope that that's where it ends up, and it doesn't end up being a drag, because, you know, they need every possible win that they can get at their backs for November, and certainly economic growth is the key one that they're looking for.
You know, on that point, Patrice, does this boomerang, you know, if it works, the president's a genius, right? If he gets the Chinese to concede points, you know, it could all work out fine. They start buying more here, computer chips, what have you, narrow the trade gap a little bit. But then it sets the stage for, if you want to resolve problems with other countries, this is the way you go about it. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. And I don't know if you're Democrat or Republican, if that's the way you want to go.
I mean, it certainly does set up that kind of scenario. You know, I think we're all hopeful that that's not what ends up happening, but that really the backroom deals that are the discussions that are being had, this creates greater leverage for that. But I think it certainly does open up that opportunity for, this to happen for, trade deals with other countries. I do think, though, that at the end of the day, most Americans are probably not following as closely as we are. But I think they will be looking at the grocery store, at the gas pump, if they're producers, at what their costs are going to be and if they're rising. And we so far, I don't think we've seen those increases. But, come election time, if we do, I think there may be some real concern.
All right, guys, thank you both very, very much.